Hello, it's Dr. Stephanie, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to talk about prosperity and how we can bring more prosperity into our lives. Sounds good, right? Who does not want more prosperity into their life, no matter how it is that they define prosperity? Have you ever met somebody who it seems like they just have the worst luck? Like Murphy's Law is always at play. One thing happens and then they turn around and another bad thing happens and another bad thing happens. And when you talk to them and you ask them, how things are going, they're like, well, I'm just holding on, waiting until that other shoe falls off. And invariably the other shoe does fall off. I remember when I first was introduced to the law of attraction. That really resonated with me because I had known many people like that, where it just seemed like life was unfair to them, that they were just having bad luck after bad luck, and it just was not fair. And what I learned as I started to learn more about the law of attraction and practice the law of attraction is that oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes we can attract the things that we don't want just by what we're thinking and what we say and what we speak. The Bible talks about the power of life and death being in the tongue. And I have been very cognizant of what I say out of my mouth from the very time that I read that scripture, because I do believe that what we say is powerful, but what we think is also powerful. We don't even have to say it for it to have power. If the thought is formed in our mind and we continue to ruminate on it, then that is the energy signal that we are sending out. And like attracts like, right? Either like attracts like or you attract the opposite. But oftentimes like attracts like. And so if you're putting out the signal that this next shoe is going to fall off, this next shoe is going to fall off, this next shoe is going to fall off, that's what you start to attract to yourself. You start to see situations from that perspective. So you could go into the same situation as someone who thinks all good things come to me at all times. And you will react and interact with that situation in such a way that it fulfills the prophecy or the thought that you've been telling yourself. And the other person will react with the situation in such a way that it fulfills the thought or the prophecy or the energy that they've been putting out. So it's not even that bad things keep happening to them, but the way that they are thinking causes them to approach situations and interact in situations and choose situations and people, which make it a higher probability that the outcome that they don't want will happen. That's how I have experienced the law of attraction. So when it comes to prosperity and it comes to money and it comes to abundance, what we think about money, our relationship with money, is crucial. Because if we think that money is scarce, it needs to be hoarded, there's only enough for a few people, then that affects how we act around money, how we treat money, how we think about money, and ultimately how we attract money in abundance to ourselves. But if we think that there is plenty of money to go around, that money is just energy that exchanged between people, that there's enough that I attract abundance in all things that I do, then that is what we start to attract back to ourselves. We start to act in certain ways that bring that about. We start to talk to people in certain ways that allow them to respond to us in a way that we become more prosperous. We start to have ideas and open ourselves up to imagination and get ideas that can be prosperous. So the law of attraction is very real when it comes to prosperity and it comes to abundance. So think about your relationship with money, which can be very complicated. I know my relationship with money is very complicated, and it's something that I'm constantly working on. When those thoughts, those beliefs that have been in there for so long pop up, I just become conscious of them and then I challenge them. Is that actually true? And is that going to bring me the things that I desire, or is that going to bring me the exact opposite of what I desire? And once I answer that question for myself, I shift those thoughts. So I just wanted to share that about this is a tool for how we're going to level up, elevate our level of prosperity, and become the prosperous women that we were destined and born to be. All right, prosperous woman, I will see you next time, and have a wonderful week.